So Elle Duncan is obviously an ESPN analyst, and I'm not going to say that, like, she isn't, or that she is a Caitlin Clark hater, because she was never a Caitlin Clark hater, but she's somebody based on what she said, especially the timing of when she said what she said, did appear to be as part of the kind of anti-Caitlin Clark crew, when in reality she really wasn't. And you can even see from what happened today that she really wasn't. Before we get on to things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are only 9 subscribers of 19k. If we could hit that by the end, then it's insane. We're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the WNBA season, well before the Olympic break. But if you guys don't know, obviously Elle Duncan is someone who hasn't obviously talked a crazy amount about Caitlin Clark, but she is best known for the rant after the Charles Barkley and LeBron James talk. More so the Charles Barkley talk, because LeBron James was mostly hyping up the league, whereas Charles Barkley was talking about them actually going out and, like, going at Caitlin Clark, or the players trying to hurt her. And then the timing of her saying this wasn't great, because it was at the end of May, and it was 1 week later where the Kennedy Carter thing happened. Because, like, 2 or 3 days after this take was the Seattle Storm game, where Caitlin Clark got hit hard a few times. I think it was the Storm, but it was their game before the Sky, and she got hit so many times that, like, and it was it wasn't even the plays were that bad, it was the refs refusing to call anything, because the WNBA wanted to show that they were a tough league. And then, this is obviously after, is what she said, and then also the Kennedy Carter situation a few games later, where it wasn't even given as a flagrant, where she got, like, blindsided. So what she said here made perfect sense at the time. It just didn't age well in the specific week that she said it. And obviously some responses. Then Angel Reese immediately after, it was like the next day, obviously May 24th, just the way the times are, Angel Reese goes, "That's getting a win in a packed arena, not because of one player on our charter flight, #Skytown." So Angel Reese goes and takes a shot at Charles Barkley and all them, and shot at Caitlin Clark, let's be real. And Elle Duncan says, their history of Magic and Bird Part 2, it's wildly entertaining. She's trolling. She knows that Caitlin will respond. This is cinema. And Caitlin didn't respond. Well, she responded by beating Angel Reese. But in this video today, I really do want to bring up 2 points that you're like, so we can finally put to bed the whole Elle Duncan is a Caitlin Clark hater, because the guy that's on the, Gary, his name is, at the start of this, like, podcast clip, basically, they showed a situation where, like, Caitlin Clark is talking about her triple-double, being like, well, it's great, my teammates scored 13 times off my passes, that's great. And Leah Boston goes, oh, she's so humble. And then even off the mic congratulates her off the mic, and your man Gary just goes, well, you can see that there's some resentment from Aaliyah Boston. And in fairness, Elle Duncan put that to bed right away and was like, no, she was just happy for her teammate. But she also said this about the Rookie of the Year race.
I would say, and this is purely off of asking.
Sorry, I have it on double timing.
A lot of questions, working in this space, knowing what I know about basketball, and again, asking more questions, I would still maybe slightly give the edge to Caitlin, putting everything else aside, like, not just because of the name and the sellouts and, like, what she's doing for viewership, just the basketball part, right? Because
I think regardless of what, it should always just come down to the basketball part. Like, if you want to talk about who is more valuable for the league, Caitlin Clark is the most valuable player for this league, but she's not the MVP. Let's be completely honest. We don't give MVP based on that. But in reality, she is. But at the end of the day, it's purely basketball for rookie, or for basketball-related accolades.
Most W players would tell you it is harder for a guard to translate right away in the W than it is a post player, right?
So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what she says. I don't want to show too much, obviously, for copyright reasons. But Elle Duncan was one of those players, or was one of those people in media that were big time defending all the people that said that, oh, Caitlin Clark was going to have a really hard time transitioning to the WNBA, and saying that it wasn't hate, that it was just making a legitimate point. So obviously, from being around women's basketball, she fully believed it was going to be hard for a guard to translate. And now that she's seeing Caitlin Clark translate and being arguably the best player at her position in the league, she's like, okay, yeah, giving extra props to Caitlin Clark for saying, well, it's a lot harder for it was harder for a guard to translate. So because she's been so good as a guard, I'm putting more props in that. So you can tell that she obviously did think it was going to be hard for Clark to translate, and she's giving Clark the credit where it's due for exceeding her expectations. She wasn't one of those people that thought Clark was going to be the best player in the world like Skip Bayless and are suddenly disappointed when she's only the best passer in the WNBA. She's someone who thought, okay, yeah, it's going to be hard. Like, we saw how bad Kelsey Plum was as a rookie, how poor Jackie Young was as a rookie. I mean, Sabrina only played 3 games as a rookie, but obviously she was pretty decent the second year. But it's a bit different having a year of training, especially again with guards, how hard it can be coming off that college year. So yeah, this was an interesting take, and it's the first time, and it puts to bed the dumb rumors. It puts to bed all those dumb rumors that if you think Caitlin Clark's rookie of the year, ESPN won't have you. And like, that is the thing, whereas it's like, I think that as far as the media goes, I've always said it. I think that there are more people in the media that think Angel Reese's rookie of the year than think Caitlin Clark's rookie of the year. I think if you go to the public, there'll be more people that will say Caitlin Clark's rookie of the year than rather than Angel Reese's rookie of the year. I think that both of those things are true. But this puts to bed the rumor that you have to be on one side to be on ESPN, because Monica McNutt is now just flipped again. Obviously, I made the video about her flip-flopping, which is hilarious. She's flipped again onto Caitlin Clark. So now, of the like 3 main people on ESPN that are talking about the WNBA, we haven't heard anything in a while from Chinea Nwumeke. What's her name? Is it Carter? There's another. Her and Chinea do WNBA. We haven't heard either of their takes. And then, obviously, it's now 2 of the 3 people they've asked in the last week about Rookie of the Year on pro Caitlin. So where are those ESPN are rigging this whole thing and making it about something that it's not in basketball? People, like, regurgitating anything that the freaking Outkick says. Like, it's just dumb. And, again, this is another situation now where somebody that has been called a Caitlin Clark hater, you can now just put a big X on that, where it's like, okay, she was pessimistic on Caitlin Clark's ability to translate straight away, was wrong, admits it was wrong. Now is it talking about how actually hard it is that Caitlin Clark's done what she's done, and now has a higher opinion of Caitlin Clark than she did at the start of the year. Whereas obviously, look, it was the way Diana Taurasi said it, but what Diana Taurasi said wasn't bad. So doubling down on what Diana Taurasi said wasn't bad. Like, I will say this though, with this take that it was treatment of Caitlin Clark, I actually don't think it was the players as much as it was the referees. Because there's been nothing really bad as far as just cheap shots since that Kennedy Carter situation. Because I think the referees have gotten the league in order. I think the referees have gotten the league in order in general. There are a few missed calls that Kennedy Carter got hit in the head. I think Kennedy Carter was lucky enough to get a flagrant 1 instead of a flagrant 2 with her hitting the head against the Storm. But then also Kennedy Carter got hit in the head and it was just a regular foul. They should have at least looked at it. Would have 100% been a flagrant 1. So the refs are actually calling it like it's basketball. So I think with people, the reason why people were talking about the treatment to Caitlin Clark was that she was getting hit with Jordan rules. Was that she specifically was getting like hit with Jordan rules, and the referees were letting it get physical, more and more and more physical. So the people were watching were just seeing the hard hits and were like, well, someone's going to get hurt eventually, and she's lucky she didn't. But they weren't specifically targeting Caitlin. They were being physical with Caitlin because that was the way to beat her, and the referees were letting it get so physical that it became dangerous. And you can hear what her actual opinion is, and look, whoever Rookie of the Year is, look, it's going to be a historically great rookie either way. It's completely fine. Like, I'm not going to be out here saying somebody is disingenuous because they think Caitlin's Rookie of the Year or Angel Reese's Rookie of the Year. Because as long as their reasoning is sound, and is based on the individual play and not team standings like Monica McNutt. She even flipped to Caitlin Clark, and I still think it's a dumb reason, even though I'm all on Team Caitlin right now. But at the end of the day, look, the Sky face the Liberty Aces going into the Olympic break. If they somehow win 2 of those 3 games, and Angel Reese averages a 20-point double-double in those games, or even is just the best player on the Sky for those 3 games, and it's not just a Kennedy Carter carry job, then my opinion's going to change. Or if the Fever somehow go 4-0 to get back to 500 by the Olympic break, then you're like, okay, maybe there's a bit of a gap. But look, right now, I think, again, it's too close to call. I'm on side Caitlin. People like Elle Duncan are on the side of Caitlin, Rachel Nichols. Some people that aren't watching the games, like the Skip Bayless logic for Angel Reese is dumb. But if you think Angel Reese is rookie of the year because she's been more consistent, she's a better rebounder, better defender, and you feel like she's helping a team that wasn't expected to win many games win more games, all good. Completely fine. And again, as long as your reasoning is sound, doesn't really matter who you think is rookie of the year because they're both historically great.